Hi there, my name is Ethan, and I was very fortunate enough to be able to attend Nintendo Live Sydney 2024. This is sort of a review slash vlog of that entire experience. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So very recently, Nintendo decided to host an exclusive event in Sydney called Nintendo Live 2024. This was a 2-day event spanning over August 31st and September 1st specifically. However, I was only able to attend the Saturday. So this entire review that I'm doing here will kind of be based on my experiences from that day alone. That being said though, I did also have some friends that attended the Sunday day, so I'll be able to touch on their experience as well and sort of combine that with mine to make one ultimate review. Now I also do have some vlog clips that I took whilst I was there. I tried to do as much as I could throughout the whole day, so I'll interweave these as I'm talking about my experiences, just to show you guys as well what was pretty much going on. Now, how I'm going to segment this review is I'm going to be splitting it into different chapters. So if you'd like to skip ahead to a certain point of the review, maybe the actual event itself, I'll have all the timestamps listed in the description. But before we get into the actual review, I wanted to touch on sort of the pre-context for it, just give a little bit of background, sort of leading up to the event, just because I find it very interesting. So Nintendo Live Sydney was announced back on the 23rd of April earlier this year. To the surprise of probably everyone. And it's safe to say that me personally, I was incredibly excited for this. I've been a lifelong Nintendo fan since as far back as I can remember, so to have a Nintendo themed convention style event hosted by Nintendo themselves in Sydney was a dream come true. Not to mention, I also just love going to conventions personally, so to have this event with all the other ones, I was hooked. After this initial announcement though, there didn't seem to be any new news for a while. There wasn't much promotion around that I saw, nor there was much discussion about it, but I always kept it in the back of my mind. That was until about mid-June, I would say, when Nintendo finally announced some new information. They announced that they would be dropping tickets via a lottery-styled system that was free to enter, and all you needed was a Nintendo account. A lottery system though? Yes. A lottery system. Now, the choice to have the tickets available via a lottery is definitely an interesting decision. One that I think a lot of people aren't really, or wouldn't be really happy about, and I can totally understand why. For me though, at least with a lot of the criticisms I could think of that people might have with this event, I don't know why, but I don't see them as an objective criticism, purely because a lot of choices surrounding this event seem to not really have a better way or a better solution. To be honest, and I did think it was an interesting topic I did want to bring up. For example, what I mean by this is, let's say with the tickets, a lottery styled system. Sure, that might suck because it's then a random chance as to whether or not you'll be getting a ticket. On the flip side though is that they made them free, so there's no issue regarding finances. For example, anyone can enter that lottery and try to get a ticket. But then the obvious flip side is that if you made them purchasable, right, once you buy the ticket, you have the ticket. But having them purchasable might lock certain people out from not being able to get a ticket just because maybe they don't have money, or what about for the kids? They obviously might not be able to get it. So it's an interesting double-edged sword, I find, with a lot of criticism, not just this one. But I'm not going to sit here and defend it, but nor am I going to go against it. I just find it very interesting, amongst other choices around this event that I will touch on. But regardless, everyone is entitled to an opinion, of course. Obviously, by the title of the video, you can tell that I managed to get myself a ticket, luckily. So yeah, must have been the 1,000 hours I have on Pokemon Quest. Now, the next step was once you have your ticket, you then had to select a reservation time to actually enter the event. Now, there were 3 different times possible. There was a 10 a.m., a 12 or 1 p.m. entry time, and then 3 p.m. And I made sure to snipe the 10 a.m. as early as I could. Now, having the entry be based on sort of a reservation time, I get why they did it, is to sort of reduce that initial congestion where if you had everyone show up at once, it would take heaps of time to get everyone in and whatnot. However, personally, I kind of would be okay with waiting a little bit longer if it meant that a lot more people could actually enter the event earlier. Because to be fair, if I had to go to that event at 3 p.m. and only having a couple hours, not to mention a lot of stuff had already finished or was about to finish by that point, I would be a bit bummed. So I feel bad for anyone that had to do the 3 p.m. one. I can't really fault them though, because they also did give a couple of days heads up, but at the same time, still sucks. I wouldn't want that on anyone, especially on an event like this. Personally speaking, I'm not too much of a fan of that system over, I probably am more not a fan of that over the ticket system. But again, that's just me. The ticket was secure and the reservation time was secure. Now, it would be a little bit longer until we got some more information. Nintendo would then announce what they actually had lined up for the event. And in summary, we pretty much had a pop-up My Nintendo store, which we will definitely get to. They had some games and like nice little themed areas of the event where there'll be cool decorations, not to mention there'll be photo opportunities with some mascots as well, which was also pretty cool. They had a main stage setup where they had some professional Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers tournaments going on. But the big juicy meat of the bone was a meet and greet with the man himself, Charles Martinet. That was probably the most important part for me, and I will also definitely get to that. But now the stage was set. All that was left to do was to wait to the actual event and then head there. Now we'll get to the actual part of the review you're probably more interested in. Let's talk about the event itself. So something I really wanted to do for this event as well was to cosplay, because I think it would be a fun way to help sort of get into the event a bit more, get into that Nintendo spirit, whatever that is. So I went as an original variation of this guy right here. I say original just because I haven't seen anyone else do this idea before. I'm not claiming it to be mine, but I haven't seen anyone else do it. The actual cosplay itself, I dub it Smash Hunter Waluigi. The general gist is that he's basically a bounty hunter that's taken out a bunch of characters from Smash out of pure anger and spite for not being included in the game. I do think it was a really interesting idea, so if you do see anything come out from Nintendo that's very similar to this, send them my way, because I'll be expecting royalties. This did mean I had to travel to the convention in full cosplay, which definitely was a new experience for me.
It's go time.
Wow, real life convention center. I've always wanted to come here.
Alright, so we made it to the ICC. No idea what to expect, to be honest. I'm just gonna find the entrance at this point and pray that we can everything goes smoothly, I think.
Now, one thing I'm going to do as well is whenever I put a clip in of my vlog, I'm also going to include the time of day in which I took it, just because I feel like another point of contention with criticism is that there was a lot of lines and a lot of waiting for things. Now, I didn't mind it personally, however, you can come to your own judgment on that, which is why I'm going to also include the times up here. But anyway, I managed to arrive safe and sound to the convention in one piece, where I was greeted with my first line of the day.
We're in line right now. Whoa. Whoa. Lines.
Almost there. Oh my god, we're going in. We are in fact yelling timber.
Now, to be honest, the lineup process wasn't that bad. I have experienced much worse at cons. It was moving really quickly. They had, multiple amount of people scanning tickets, so, multiple people can be moving through at once, which is really nice.
We made it in. I had to drop my sword off though because it's way too big. Fair enough. But we are here. I can't turn this around. Got another line where they do back check and just get your lanyard and all that stuff. So yeah, have fun. I'll get some nice clips on the inside while we wait for the game to show up.
They did also have a bag check afterwards, which, as annoying as they can be sometimes, I also do applaud them for doing it, just because I don't feel like a lot of conventions do it enough, and it is a really good way to just make sure your event is safe. I had to leave my Buster Sword though, back in the cloakroom, which is like a storage room that they normally have, just because it was too big, which honestly, fair enough. I don't know why I brought it to begin with. Having to carry that around along with many bags, honestly, would have been a pain in the butt. So I'm kind of glad that they took it from me. And then once through the bag check and the final sort of ticket scan stop, whatever the heck you want to call it, they would give you a event exclusive tote bag, which is actually a really cool thing to do. A lot of conventions don't do stuff like that anymore, where they give you some bonus goodies. You usually have to pay extra, I found. So that's actually really cool of Nintendo for doing that on their behalf. So you know what? way to go. Good job, guys. Now, the actual tote bag itself is like super high quality. I genuinely can see myself using this in the future for like general use. But not to mention the stuff inside was even more cool, I reckon. This included a map with the actual timetable event as well. A lanyard for the day, which mine is still sealed because I was wearing so much stuff on my neck. It just seemed pointless to wear that. A giant platinum point sticker with some like free points. Some more cool stickers of different games, including a giant Kamala, since, you know, it's a koala, it's Australia. Some really, really nice metal pins, including Isabelle, Mario, and the Master Sword. And finally, this really cool gold coin with nice engravings on the front and back of different series, as well as the event logo on it. But at last, we were finally inside the event.
Guys, I think this is Nintendo Live, guys. All right, we made it. I got a little goodie bag. Yeah, pretty cool. I don't know where to start. I'm gonna be real. Let me just quickly show around.
Now, from a first glance and a first impression upon actually entering the event, it was really nice. I could tell everyone was really excited, you know, the vibes were there, and just the energy was really high. It was just a good time all around. Now, they did, like I said before, they did have the event laid out in different areas for each of the games, and it was really cool how they did it, just like, you know, representing the games, bringing them to life. It was so cool to look at.
So over there we got the main stage. We got some Zelda stuff. Stores back there. We got Switch Sports, Mario Wonder, and I think there's Pikmin as well. We'll go this way. We'll get some nice photos, I reckon, later. Hopefully the music in the background doesn't get me copyrighted. We'll go this way. Got a whole bunch of Wonder stuff here. Animal Crossing and some other stuff. Oh my gosh. Over there we got some Zelda. We got some Pokemon over here. Oh my goodness. My Nintendo store. Yeah, down this way we can see got a whole bunch of Pokemon related goodies. As well as, yeah, Pokemon as well. This is really sick. I'll come down this way. We got Zelda in there. And then over here, really cool. That's all all the games. Yeah, this is the main stage where they've got Mario Kart and competitive Smash as well. So all around pretty baller. Alright, we got Animal Crossing over here, some nice things. This is all Switch Sports over here. And if we go up this way, we've got Splatoon 3. And then we can continue in a little bit more over here. Down here we've got the Pikmin area. Pretty groovy. More Splatoon. And then let's cut through here. We got the other side of the Mario Wonder. And then come in this way. We got some of the Pikmin there. The Mario Dojo over there. I don't know what that is. And then some Kirby over there. We got Kirby and Princess Peach over here. We got Kirby over there, Princess Peach in the corner over there. Yeah, everything's got a line though, so I'm gonna have to like figure out how to do stuff. But we've got a couple of cool little events here. We've got some kind of competition going on there too. Pretty groovy.
Now, yeah, there were a good range of activities that you could do, from shopping to taking photos with some of the mascots and playing the different games. There was quite a little bit to do. After I finished my initial sort of walking around of the event to just sort of get a feel for everything and see what there was, I stumbled into a photo meet and greet line with Pikachu. I had no idea. I honestly thought the line was going into a different area, but then when I realized it was for a meet and greet with Pikachu, I thought, why not? I'm already here, let's just do it.
I'm gonna be real, I don't know, I've hopped into a line and I don't know what it's for. I think it's a Pikachu meet and greet or some kind of Pokemon meet and greet. So I'm kind of just full sending it, to be honest. So, oh my god, it's Pikachu, guys. I'm meeting Pikachu. So I just got a photo with Pikachu. Very cool. I was not able to catch him, unfortunately, but still pretty cool. These are pretty cool. It's all games and stuff.
Ooh. And you know what? I'm glad I did, because I think that photo turned out pretty good in my opinion. Another thing I want to quickly give them props for as well is after I had the photo meet and greet, I continued exploring the Pokemon area a little bit, and they had this really cool display set up where they had all of the different games from each generation set up in like chronological order from Kanto all the way down to Paldea. Me personally, I love collecting games as like a hobby, so to see all the games, all the mainline games sealed like that, some of which I haven't even seen in person before, genuinely was really cool. I wish they did that with more of the different series that they had there with like Mario and Zelda, for example.
So they got all the different generations, like all the different games, so like Oasis Scarlet Violet, and then it goes down, really it goes up I should say, but all the way down to different games. We even got these. To this day, I still do not have any. Diamond and Pearl, and then the absolute goats.
Oh, I love your cosplay.
Thank you. And then also Gen 1 and Gen 2. It's actually really cool seeing these like in person, these boxes. I've never seen these before. Also goated, but I'm sorry, but these are the undisputed best games. I'm sorry, but they are.
Now, once I was done with the Pokemon area, I had a bit more of a wander around to continue looking at things and admiring details, all that little stuff, just to take it in.
Now this is pretty cool. This is really cool. You got like fireplace and all the different tools as well, the tree. Yes. Oh my god. There's Kirby, bro. That's crazy. Sorry, bro.
And then I managed to stumble my way into yet another photo mascot meet and greet. This one I thought was for Mario and Luigi, because that was happening. So I thought, oh, I'll quickly jump in the line while that's going on. But the line they had set up was actually for Princess Peach, and I did not realize that right away.
Alright, so I have now wandered into the Princess Peach line. I don't know what I'm doing. It's Luigi and Mario, my arch nemesis. Just met Princess Peach. Very lovely. She rejected me though, which is fair enough. Look who I'm dressed as. Let's see if I wander into another meet and greet. Who knows?
Now, once that second photo meet and greet was done, which I think was a pretty good photo as well, I decided to continue my wandering around. To be honest, at this point, I was just trying to kill time because I was just waiting for my friends to show up. Not to mention, I was also waiting for the meet and greet, which was a little bit later on in the day.
Oh, there's a massive Kirby up there. Oh my goodness. Oh, Isabelle! Whoa! There she goes. Never to be seen again. I am having a hydration break.
Now, by this point, it had already been about 2 hours since the event started, and I'd already done quite a bit, which was actually a pretty good thing. But I needed to have a break. I needed to rehydrate because my mouth was killing me. While I was doing that, I noticed the time, and it was sort of creeping up on that meet and greet. It was about half an hour until it was there, so I decided to wait around just because I didn't want to miss this session. The next session was much later in the day, and by that point I would have been with my friends, so I just thought, you know what, I'll do this meet and greet now.
So right now it is about 12:25. The next meet and greet opens at about 20 minutes, so I'm just literally going to sit here for 20 minutes until it opens. So yeah, I'm getting this meeting. I want this meeting greet. I really want this meeting.
Now, I was noticing as I was sitting and waiting that the line was like full already, or at least the roped off area, that was already full, and there was still so much time left for the event, so I, got up and started heading over there anyway, just to wait. And thankfully, they were very generous with the cutoff because the line went much further back past the roped off area, so I was in for the meet and greet, guys.
I don't know what's happening.
Now, after some waiting around in the line, the time finally hit 1 p.m. and then, boom, the legend, the absolute GOAT, Charles Martinet himself came out, and oh my goodness, it was ready. It was meet and greet time, baby.
It's go time.
Now, whilst we were all in line for the meet and greet, they did an announcement over the speakers saying that the tickets to enter the My Nintendo store were running low and that they were moving it from the original area to the front desk of the center. Now, I want to just focus on the meet and greet for now, but I will touch on this later when we get to the actual store section of the review because it is a very, very relevant topic. So, they've run out of tickets for the store, they just announced. So, looks like I'm not buying anything. But, I mean, that's okay because that means I'll have money still, which is good. But, yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Oh my god, holy heck. Guys, we're at the end of the line. We're getting there. Oh my god. Now, thankfully, the meet and greet line was moving really quickly, which is really nice, considering the amount of people that was actually in line to meet him. I'm glad it was moving quick, so everyone, could have their chance to meet very, very smoothly. Now, it eventually obviously hit my turn, and I was very excited. Very nervous, but very excited. Now, this was a very wholesome interaction, and I want to just take a sidestep off topic just to talk about this meet and greet for 1 second, just because this was the thing that I had been waiting for the most. This interaction was quite possibly like one of the things that meant most to me. A lifelong dream. It was a childhood lifelong dream to meet Charles, just because I've been, literally, like I said before, I've been a lifelong Nintendo fan since as far back as I can remember. And this was a very wholesome interaction. To actually be able to meet the guy that helped make my childhood, like, I wanted nothing more in the world. And of course, would I have liked the interaction to have been longer? Yeah, of course. But the way I look at it is that, let's say we had about 15 to 20 seconds roughly of actual time to interact with the meet and greet. That's still 15 to 20 seconds of time that I didn't have before and might never get again. So to have that experience to look back on is going to stick with me forever. And Charles himself, he is a very, very sweet person. He is very humble, but he's so nice. And I think he did really like my fit as well, because we did a photo, whatever side I'm going to put it on. And yeah, through my time, I've played countless games. I've watched so many videos to expand my knowledge on the series. I mean, heck, I even have every single Lego Mario set that they've ever released. I think having the chance to meet the guy that helped shape my love for this series in my childhood is genuinely an experience I don't think I can ever top. And so I just want to say thank you, Charles, for everything. I genuinely hope that life is treating you well.
Alright, I couldn't get a video, but just met Charles, and I am incredibly happy. I'll put the photo up right there and post edit, but yeah, it's genuinely a childhood dream come true, so I'm literally over the moon right now. These guys finally showed up.
Hi! I'm getting tailed up.
We're getting tailed up over here.
This was also very good timing, as my friends had finally showed up. They had the second reservation time entry, so I would have been waiting for them regardless, but this was good. I was able to touch base and catch up, and then continue exploring the event now. But before we continue on, I do want to just round back to the My Nintendo store, because I feel like this is a really good time to talk about it, just because I think it's an interesting part of the experience. So the actual process they had for the Nintendo store was definitely an interesting one. It wasn't something you could just walk into and then buy your stuff. You actually had to get a ticket entry, as the store was only available at certain times to actually buy your stuff. And the tickets themselves to actually get into the store were also only available at certain times. And this was interesting, because I remember at the start of the day when I was just figuring everything out and what there was, I learned how the tickets work. So I thought, okay, I'm going to come back later, grab a ticket, do the store, and then do the meet and greet. When I came back at that second time to get a ticket, the line was massive. And I thought, there's no point, if I get into this line, I'm missing the meet and greet, and that's worth more to me than buying stuff. So I'll come back afterwards. And then obviously, whilst in the meet and greet, the tickets were not only moved, but then they sold out. And this was a bit annoying, because it only been 2-3 hours, and the store was already done, basically. Not by choice, but I don't think they anticipated how many people were wanting to buy stuff, which is a little annoying, to say the least. But we were in luck. We managed to bump into some mutuals of ours that actually had scored a ticket into the store a bit later. So we arranged a little business deal to where, hey, if we give you our money, can you go and buy the stuff for us? And thankfully it worked. So if there's anything I can tell you guys from this experience is that make sure you surround yourself with awesome people that are really nice. So you guys know who you are. Thank you for helping us.
Look at this, this is the lineup we got for merch. We got plushes from Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, Kirby, some Pikmin. We got some shirts and stuff. On the other side, we got some amiibos, we got some games and some Switches. Nothing too crazy.
You can buy a Switch here.
You can buy a Switch.
So if you weren't here, if you didn't have one.
Yeah. So pretty alright lineup.
Now, once that business transaction was sorted and out of the way, we continued on our adventures around to see what else we could get up to.
I didn't even notice this until now. There's a whole timeline that goes all the way down to even the first Japanese one, red and green, yeah. So, yeah, pretty groovy actually, I reckon. Yeah, get a photo cannon, go on. Oh, all the way through, all the way. You know what? We're gonna get videoception here, right? Yeah, look at this. Great camera work here. We got the goddamn. What is the most important to you? Guys, what's the most important thing to you? Past, present, or future? We get given that.
Okay.
What's okay?
I got one.
We're gonna go do this. What's most important to you, Karen?
Future.
The future. Interesting. I think I'm a present. I'm a present boy. Mickey, what are you?
You'll see.
Alright, we're gonna hold off. You did present? Nice. I'm gonna do present. I'm gonna put mine right there for present. This is the Mario Wonder area. We got some games set up. There's Princess Peach in the corner. Some cool power-ups. We got a statue over here. That's sick. We gotta get a closer up of that one. One elephant. This is the meta. Okay.
Now, speedrunning failures aside, we decided to continue our adventuring around the event. We managed to make our way over to the main stage, as we were headed there for a late meet and greet for the other two, but there was a Q&A happening at that point with Charles, so I completely forgot about that. Now, whilst we didn't get to hear the entire Q&A, they have both been uploaded onto YouTube, which I will also link in the description in case you would like to listen to those.
We'll start with the big questions, of course. Do you pick Mario when you play Mario Kart?
Every single time.
Do you?
I do. I play Mario every single time, and every single time I go, whoa, 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 every time I play the game, which is very difficult when I play Galaxy, because I'm like this.
Yeah, right.
But from what we did hear though, it was honestly really cool hearing him talk about like his career, some other fun questions and topics that he got given, and just hearing all the voices as well, and like some of their popular lines in person as well. It's such a treat hearing those. It really is. Now, once the meet and greet was done, Mickey really wanted to act upon their special interest of Legend of Zelda, so we decided to head over to the Zelda exhibit. And it was pretty simple. They pretty much just had some booths set up of Tears of the Kingdom, but they had some other really cool stuff around, like some really nice art on all of the walls, as well as a timeline of all the Zelda games, which is great because I have no idea about any of that. It's so confusing, so to have it cleared up is very nice.
Welcome. So we're in the Zelda one right now. It's got a full history and chronological timeline. Thank goodness.
See? Best game in the series because it's first.
Okay. And then we got some nice little booths set up. Very fancy. Peak gameplay right here. Whoa. Here's a good look at the Nintendo store. A couple of things. We got some like amiibos and stuff, some plushes, all the shirts over there. I did manage to get some stuff, but I wasn't actually able to get it myself. But we're still good. We still got some things. That's good. A little.
Once we then sped through the entirety of Tears of the Kingdom, we decided to go around and get some more photos with the mascots.
We got a bag with another bag inside of the bag with another bag. We got Bag Central. Whoa, look. They got there with Pikachu. Pika.
It's so cute.
Whoa.
You gotta get some money. How much you got on there, dog?
$0. How much you got?
What's your bank account, dog? What money you got?
0.
How much money you got in there?
Oh,
How much money you got in there?
oh,
How much money you got in there?
oh.
Now, once we had lost all of our money to Nook Incorporated from all the merch that we had bought, we decided to link up with our friends to go actually collect our stuff, since they had to prepare the order first. Now, we pretty much at that point seen everything we wanted to see anyway, so we were totally cool with leaving by that point. But little did we know about the life-altering experience that awaited us after this.
We gotta go collect our stuff now. Oh my goodness, it's Kirby, Destroyer of Worlds. So we're in the line to get our stuff now, and it's taking a little bit, I think. Just a little bit. You can see it's a little crazy.
So this is the part I've sort of been foreshadowing with the Nintendo store about how interesting this experience is, but it's not as bad as you might be thinking it out to be, and I'll explain why. So it was the point of the day where everyone was sort of getting tired and wanting to leave, and obviously a lot of people needed to go collect their stuff. Now the process of how this works is that normally you would go to the store, buy your order, and then they would get it ready, and then you could go collect it a couple hours later or any time after that. Now, because everyone was leaving at the same time, there was a lot of people needing to get their orders at the same time. I think by this point we got into the area to collect our things at about 4:15, so 4:15. I was hoping to be out pretty much as soon as possible to get all my stuff off, but the lines were moving very slowly. I'm sure a lot of people who were at the event on this day can attest to what I'm about to say. We ended up waiting, I would say, about 2 hours for our stuff. And it wasn't just us, it was a lot of other people. We were waiting for ages. But what I do want to say is that I do not blame the staff entirely at all. If anything, the staff were doing a really good job in trying to get orders out as quick and as efficient as they can. Throughout the whole day, just anywhere there was staff, they were extremely helpful with everything, because I definitely had to ask some questions every now and again to the staff, and every experience I had was very lovely, and they were all very nice. Not to mention with this point in time specifically with the orders, they were extremely helpful in thinking on the spot, trying to get orders out quickly, because they were very slow at first. But then they did some things to try and make it faster, like splitting people up by order time, and then just reading them out, offering different ways to pick up an order if you didn't want to wait around. And I do applaud all of their hard work. I don't want to dog on the staff at all, because they genuinely do not deserve it. They tried their absolute best given the circumstances. So honestly, just thank you to all the staff. One thing you cannot change though is time, and it was moving fast, and a lot of people needed to get their things. I decided to stick around in hopes that we would actually get our stuff, since we weren't coming back the next day. The clock was moving though. It went to 5, and then it went to 6, then it went to 6:30, and the ICC closed at 7. So we were on a bit of a time crunch.
So I had de-cosplayed, as you can see. I still got makeup on me though. Looks like I've been in a fight, but we are still here. It is 6:20, and we are still waiting for merch. So it closes at 7. So I mean, hey, fingers crossed, bro. Please. Time update is 6:36. Still waiting. The Zab is back now. So, yeah.
And then it got to 6:45 and panic started to set in. But luckily, thank goodness, we heard our number called and we were so excited. We dashed to the desk to collect our stuff like we hadn't ran before.
We made it, page 60, we did it, we got our stuff.
I don't even want to know what my face looked like when I...
And that was it. The day was done. We got our stuff, experienced everything we wanted to see. And by that point, I was tired. My legs were crumbling. My soul was almost shattered. I had de-cosplayed at that point and was super hungry. But we got our things, we departed, and all was well. Now, this would be the part of the review where I would now then move on to my final thoughts and reviews. However, I did have some friends that got to attend the Sunday day of the event. So I asked them politely, hey, could you tell me how your day went and I can compare it to mine? Just because I think having a full review of both days would be nice, even though I didn't get to do both. Thankfully, my friend Zav not only told me about their day, but also recorded and vlogged the entire day a little bit as well. So please enjoy Zav's vlogging of Sunday.
Nintendo Lite. We're in. Oh my god. Charles. Kirby Multiverse. And then Car Kirby. I'm gonna be driving this guy around. This guy. Pink blow. Day 2 perspective. I don't know how busy day 1 was, but I feel like it's less busy. I feel like it's more empty now than it is. Like, yeah, but what do I know? I just got beat in a Pokemon battle. There was a lucky critical hit, right? Lucky critical hit that just shat the game for me. So, we're in line to meet Charles Martinet. Holy shit, I love The Legend of Zelda. Holy shit, I love The Legend of Zelda. Lamau, they got their own thing for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Update, it's like 4-ish, I think. Event is about to be ending soon, but yeah, there's like no one here whatsoever. Holy shit, it is empty in this bitch. I lied, it's 5:30. It's nowhere near 4. So okay, final update. I've left the con. It was a lot less packed today. They said on the first day they were expecting around like 70% to show up, but in the end they got around 80, like 90% to show up, which is insane, but that's what you get when you host a Nintendo event in Sydney. But yeah, second day, probably not as much. There was a lot more space. The lines were probably not as long as well. I wasn't there on the first day, I was here on the second day. But I came at 3 and I could still do everything, so.
Thank you very kindly, Zav, for your assistance. Your hard work is very appreciated. So what are my final thoughts and feelings about this event? Well, now that I've had a bit of time to actually sort of digest everything that's happened, I'm very pleased with how everything went. I do think, honestly, the most important thing to me, at least, when I think of this event is just the fact that it actually just existed in the first place. Nintendo did not have to host an event in Sydney like at all, not to mention make it free, but they did. They didn't have to give us event exclusive merch and the tote bags and the stuff you could buy, but they did. They didn't even have to have Charles Martinet there for a meet and greet and Q&A, but they did. And sure, you can definitely make fair criticisms and arguments about the event, like the amount of lines that they had for everything and the amount of waiting times that they had for everything, and those would be fair. I could agree with you, but at the same time, these aren't new issues with conventions, nor specifically this one. This is a normal thing with events like this. And honestly, I think I ultimately prefer, as annoying as they can be, I prefer having lines and waiting times, because it just makes everything more organized. Plus, for a first time event that they've done something like this, I think they did a pretty good job. It would probably be really hard managing as many people as they had in such a small area, but I think having it as organized as they did honestly was ultimately a strong suit. Can't really fault them for doing lines and stuff. And not to mention, like I said before, this event had some of the best staff I've ever seen at a convention. Everyone was incredibly helpful and friendly, and making sure that everyone's experience was as good as it could possibly be at the event, which honestly goes a long way in making sure an event is fun for people. The actual exhibits that they had set up for each of the games as well were really well done. There was a lot of effort and care put into them in making sure that they could bring that world into life. Not to mention the amount of attention to detail that they had, different photo opportunities both with mascots and just the scenery as well was really cool of them to do, especially considering the amount of families they had and younger kids there. That would have been amazing for them to get photos with all these characters that they love and the worlds that they love exploring. And then of course the opportunity to actually meet Charles Martinet is easily the best highlight for me. It made the entire event. Like I said before, that is not an experience I am going to forget anytime soon, and that literally meant the world to me. And that's probably a sentiment that a lot of other people at that event also share with me, not just me. So again, thank you, Charles. The only objective downside that I could think of that is something I definitely was not thrilled about, was a little underwhelming actually, was the store lineup that they had of things you could buy. I think having half the stuff be Switch related items, like games, consoles, all that stuff, while it is to be expected, I'd still think having half of your selection of products being that, stuff I could literally just get anywhere else for the same, if not cheaper price, it was a little underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if that was me just getting my hopes up, but at the same time, it would have been cool to have some other neat little stuff, like some keychains, figures, or other little items as well that they would have at any other My Nintendo store. But at the end of the day, tying everything together that I've said, for me at least, I feel very confident in saying that this event was an overall success. And I really, really hope it continues. I do want to see it again, even if it's here again in Sydney or somewhere else in the world. I really hope they stick with it and continue to improve it, that it can be the best event it can possibly be, because it genuinely is a really good experience. It was amazing, and I want other people to be able to experience that. If I had to rate this overall event out of 10, I would probably give it a 9, which is pretty high. So I hope this review maybe help give you a little bit of nice insight into the event. Thank you.